Do you remember when conservatives were losing their minds about Biden's cognition during the end of his presidency? There were accusations that he wasn't actually the one in charge. He wasn't actually the one running the show. Of course, we know Joe Biden is old, and he was certainly showing his age, but they're acting like his staff was pulling a Weekend at Bernie's. Is Weekend at Bernie's a dated reference at this point? I don't know. I don't know the average age of David's audience, although maybe the Weekend at Bernie's thing has been referenced so many times in this exact context that it's no longer a dated reference, it's just a tired one. But I think those same conservatives should be paying special attention to Donald Trump. Donald Trump signed a new series of executive orders with the press watching in the Oval Office, and afterward, he took questions. During this process, though, he seems to not at all be aware of what he's signing. In fact, for each executive order he signs, he needs to ask the man next to him, who in the first two clips is going to be David Sachs. He has to ask him to explain what he is signing for people. David Sachs, by the way, is a tech entrepreneur and the White House czar for AI and cryptocurrency. Yeah, horrifying stuff. So here is Donald Trump signing an executive order that David Sachs will explain to you.
Crypto, we're going to be, we're doing AI first. Sorry, this is an executive order on AI. We're basically announcing the administration's policy to make America the world capital in artificial intelligence and to dominate and to lead the world in AI.
Do you want to say your name, your full name?
David Sachs, AI and crypto czar.
David is one of the greatest in the world at AI. Most respected, probably, there is.
Okay, I'm going to have to stop and start this audio because, as you could hear, that was him signing the executive order with his giant marker, and then he takes the executive order and he holds it up and shows it to everyone for several seconds. And in this next clip will start as he actually picks up the next executive order to sign, and you'll note that he has to ask David Sachs again what this executive order is that he's signing.
And this, David, is?
Yeah, this is the crypto EO. We're going to be forming an internal working group to make America the world capital in crypto under your leadership.
Which is really going up, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, now you might be thinking, Donald Trump is just ensuring that David Sachs is involved in the process of signing the executive orders related to AI and cryptocurrency, given that he's the White House czar for AI and cryptocurrency. It's not that Donald Trump doesn't know what he's signing, he's just trying to be inclusive of this dude. Well, I would be more sympathetic to that argument if a new dude didn't immediately step forward to tell Donald Trump about the next executive order he's signing. This time, Donald Trump doesn't even ask. This man walks up, Trump opens the executive order, and this man tells Trump what he's signing. And this time, there's going to be a little bit more silence from the pen, but I am leaving it in because you'll notice that Donald Trump's he prompts the man next to him to tell us more because he's uncomfortable in that silence.
This is an executive order establishing a presidential commission, an advisory commission on science and technology.
Good. Do you want to explain that a little bit?
The basic idea is to get together top people from government, the private sector, technology industry, as well as educational institutions, to make sure that America maintains its leadership position with respect to science and technology development in the years ahead.
Okay, why isn't Donald Trump telling us more about these executive orders? I mean, who is running the show here? And listen, I am not reassured either way. It's either Donald Trump or the people who are in positions of power around him because they have no moral compass and agree with the radical agenda set forth in Project 2025. Either way, I am not comfortable. Let me just say that, but can we accept that this man has no clue what he's doing? And here's the most significant part of this, and this is the last one that I will play. This one really exposes just how little Donald Trump is aware of what is going on.
Next, we have a set of pardons for peaceful pro-life protesters who were prosecuted by the Biden administration for exercising their First Amendment rights.
Do you know how many?
I believe it's 23, sir.
23 people were prosecuted. They should not have been prosecuted. Many of them are elderly people. They should not have been prosecuted. This is a great honor to sign this.
He had to ask how many people were included for the pardons. And then he starts talking about the injustice of what they went through. Does he even know anything about the case? I mean, it's a great honor to sign it, he says. You had to ask how many people were receiving the pardon. They called them peaceful protesters, by the way, prosecuted for protesting. If you don't know the case, like Donald Trump doesn't seem to, let's see if that's true. Reading from Politico, quote, Trump described the group as peaceful protesters, yet many of them were charged with barricading the doors of clinics with bicycle locks and other implements, pushing, and in some cases, injuring clinic workers and preventing patients from accessing health services. Among the pardoned is Bevelyn Williams, a Tennessee woman sentenced to 41 months in prison for, quote, interference, including by threats and force with individuals seeking to obtain and provide lawful reproductive health services. Williams, according to the DOJ, crushed a clinic staff member's hand in a door while attempting to block access to a New York City facility in 2020. She also participated in a separate demonstration at a Florida clinic in 2022, which federal authorities said caused delays, quote, in treating at least a dozen patients, 3 of whom were scheduled for time-sensitive procedures that could have resulted in bleeding, infection, or significant pain without timely treatment. Doesn't sound so peaceful, does it? They were convicted of violating the FACE Act, Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. Pro-life organizations are celebrating this, but also asking that Donald Trump continue to follow through on his pro-life promises. Donald Trump is scheduled to appear at the March for Life today, by video, by the way. We still don't know what's in store related to mifepristone and the Comstock Act, which I talk a lot about on my own YouTube channel. And since I paused that last clip of Trump signing the executive order, let's pick up after he signs the executive order, giving the pardons, and finishes showing his signature to the press.
They'll be very happy. So they're all in prison now.
Some are out of custody.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that thing that I just learned about, ridiculous. He knew nothing about these people. He knows nothing about what he's signing. The worst, most radical, most right-wing people you can imagine are running the show over there. And Donald Trump is happy to play along as long as he's viewed as the big, strong president.
Data brokers are continually collecting extensive details about your online behavior, address, phone number, email, financial information, even political views. This sensitive information about you can easily be found on public data search sites by anybody, could be an ex, could be an employer, and these brokers sell the data to other businesses and even government agencies like the FBI and NSA, who can buy it in bulk to surveil Americans without a search warrant. Scammers and spammers also get your details from these lists, and that's why you get the text messages and the calls and the emails. But you can stop it. Our sponsor, Incogni, will send removal requests to data brokers who are legally obligated to comply. If any of your information remains online, Incogni will follow up and ensure that it's taken down. Incogni keeps you informed every step of the way, and it just saves you countless hours of work that would be nearly impossible to do on your own. I use Incogni, and what they've managed to do is remarkable. Go to incogni.com/Pacman and use the code PACMAN for 60% off. The link is below.